Hello there and welcome to this video by craftofblogging.com. I am Sumit Bansal and in today's video I'm going to talk about choosing a domain name. Now in yesterday's video we talked about how to choose a niche and the things to keep in mind, and if you have not watched that video I would have a link in the description. In today's video I'm going to talk about choosing a domain name once you have finalized your niche. Now there are three kinds of domain names. There is an exact match domain name, partial match domain name, and generic domain name. An exact match domain name is something where you have an exact keyword in the domain name. For example, bestrunningshoes.com. Now, because you want to rank for the keyword best running shoes, you have that entire keyword in the domain name, and then you are going to target this keyword through your homepage or pages on your site. A partial match domain name is where you have a part of the keyword which may give out the industry that site is about, the topic that site is about, but it would not use that complete keyword. An example would be, let's say, Runner's Paradise or a Runner Click, which is actually an authority site. You can check it out. And then there are generic domain names which would not have the keyword at all, sites such as Forbes or Inc.com. So these are generic sites. Now, personally, I would never go for an exact match domain name. I find these spammy. I don't think that you should use that exact thing in the domain name and then pigeonhole yourself into certain kind of pages. I usually prefer partial match domain names, and if you want, you can also go for generic ones. Personally, again, I don't think that having the keyword in your domain name would help in SEO a lot. Even if it is a ranking factor, it is a really small one. So even if you do not have the keyword in your domain name, that should be fine. But usually I go for partial match domain name. So I would have something like a Runner Click or Runner's Paradise. Now, coming to the TLDs or the extension of the domain. So the most popular one is .com, and if you can get a .com, I would recommend you do that. In case you do not get the .com domain name, it is all right to go for other extensions such as .org or .net, and there would be no issue in ranking these domain names. I have some other extensions that I have ranked really well, but I would still recommend look for a .com domain name. And I say this because in case you want to sell this site later, a .com domain name may fetch you a better value. Again, there is no issues in ranking, there is no problem with SEO, but if you can find a .com domain name, go with it. Also, in case you decide that you're not finding a .com domain name and you are going with some other extension, just do a Google search and see whether the site exists with that name or not. So if you're, let's say, going for Runner's Paradise, then just do a search for Runner's Paradise in Google and see whether runnersparadise.com exists or not, or any other site with this name exists or not, because you do not want to compete with sites that are already ranking in Google search. So it would be better to avoid those domain names. Now, in case you are targeting specific countries, then you can do that with country specific domain names, domain extensions. For example, if you're targeting India, then you can have a .in domain name. If you're targeting UK, then you can have a .co.uk. In case you are targeting, let's say, US market or even any market for that matter, you can do that with .com as well. So again, I recommend that you go for .com, but in case you want to specify a country that you only want to target people in this country, then you can do that within Search Console. Because if you go with a domain name which is, let's say, .in, then you would not be able to target people outside of India, because now you have specified that you only want to focus in for the Indian market. So make sure that you choose the country specific domain name only in case you specifically want to target people in that region. Now, coming up with the domain name ideas, this is something that really troubles people, because people cannot really usually come up with good domain names, and I'm really horrible at coming up with domain names. So what you can do is, there is a website called Lean Domain Search. Just search for it in Google and you would find this website where you can just type the keyword and then it is going to show you a lot of domain names that are available, and then you can get some ideas from there. Maybe you would find a domain name that you like and you can choose from there. It'll also tell you whether the Twitter is available for that or not, and just click and see if the Twitter account is available or not. So in case it is not available, maybe choose something where you can create your own Twitter account with the same handle. And buying the domain name, if you have to buy it from somewhere, I would recommend you go and do it with Namecheap, because first of all, Namecheap, the domain names are cheap, and you get free Who Is protection. Now, Who Is protection is something where your personal information would not be visible to anyone. So if you do not have a whois protection, I can just put in your name in the whois.com and I can check your details, your name, when was the domain registered, what's the email address. But if you have the whois protection enabled, then I would not get all those details. So with Namecheap, you get this for free. There are a lot of other registrars that would actually charge you for it. I think GoDaddy charges for it. So my personal favorite is Namecheap. Check it out. In case you want to do it from somewhere else, you can do that as well. So these are the few things that you need to keep in mind. My only suggestion would be, do not delay in choosing a domain name, and don't get hung up on not finding the right domain name. You can always switch later, after a few days, after a few months if you want. But personally, I don't think the domain name really makes a huge difference in how your site would be ranked. If you find something which is good enough, just buy it and go with it. That's it in this video. I hope you found this useful. Also, if you're liking this video, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you never miss out on any new video I come up with. Thank you and have a nice day.